What's up guys, here MokzZ Gaming, your F2P player spokesperson. If you are looking for the best characters tier list and reroll guide, especially for beginners, this video will help you choose the right one. Recommend watching repeatedly. This video covers all the legendary characters, as well as some ranking adjustments made based on feedback and optimization suggestions from fans in the previous video. If you find this video is helpful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe channel. Well, let's dive right into today's topic. In my opinion, if you manage to get one of these characters early in the game, not only will it help you progress through the levels faster, but it will also enhance your overall gaming experience. Well, we're diving into the mysterious realm of B-tier characters. Firstly, Ballista, range type, deals critical hit damage equal to 175% of attack to the target, inflicts curse for 5 seconds upon a successful attack. Spike, melee type, after a successful attack, Spike provides a focus buff to allies for 2 seconds, increasing final accuracy. Active skill, inflicts frostbite effect for 5 seconds. Alim, range type, deals final critical hit damage equal to 150% of attack to targets within a 2m radius, and it lasts for 2 seconds. Passive skill, increases evasion by 50%. Next, let's talk about A tier, Meg, range type. Meg applies a binding effect for 1.3 seconds, preventing the target from moving, and inflicts a stun effect for 1.5 seconds, rendering the target unable to attack, move, or use skills. Mirage, defense type, gains the Veil effect upon a successful attack, which can negate 1 instance of damage. Deals damage to targets within a 4-meter radius of Mirage. Targets hit will be taunted and provide Mirage with a high evasion effect. Sylvia, range type, targets hit are taunted, forcing them to attack Sylvia. When Sylvia is knocked down, she gains the unyielding effect for 10 seconds, limited to 1 use. During this effect, she will not receive fatal damage. Wiser, a defense type, deals critical hit damage to targets within a 2-meter range, inflicting burn effect for 1 second, dealing an additional 20% damage per second. Velika, range type, Velik makes the target tense upon a successful attack, applying the curse effect for 5 seconds, preventing the target from healing. Snold, melee type, after a successful attack, Snold gains an attack speed boost. With an active skill, he deals 310% damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target. Lucrezia, defense type, after a successful attack, reduces Lucrezia's skill cooldown by 2 seconds and grants Lucrezia the Veil buff for 10 seconds, which can negate damage taken up to 10 times. Lania, support type, deals high critical hit damage to targets within a 2-meter radius, inflicts a frostbite effect reducing attack and movement speed, and deals additional damage per second. The aura skill grants allies immunity to stun, sleep, paralysis, and knockback. Chris, melee type, Chris deals 300% critical hit damage to the target, grants allies a quick movement buff for 2 seconds, and deals damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target, inflicting additional damage equal to 25% of the target's maximum health. Bane, range type, initially consumes 60% of its own max HP to deal critical hit damage equal to 500% of attack in a 2-meter radius around the target. If killed, can be resurrected through a passive skill, restoring 100% HP, but can only be used once. And then, S tier, Ingrid, melee type, inflicts critical hit damage on the target, applies a defense debuff, reducing final defense, deals high damage to the target, and applies a frostbite effect, lasting for 10 seconds. Frostbite can decrease attack and movement speed and deals additional damage per second. Orca, range type, applies bleed effect upon a successful attack, lasting for 2 seconds, dealing additional damage to the target per second, and increases attack speed buff. Misha, melee type, applies poison effect upon successful attack, dealing additional damage per second, inflicting high damage on the target. Applies curse effect upon successful attack, lasting for 10 seconds, preventing the target from healing. Jave, melee type, upon a successful attack on the target, provides allies with the Gale buff, increasing attack speed and allowing rapid approach to the target. Deals damage to nearby enemies, pushing them back 2 meters. Sizer, melee type, Sizer applies poison effect upon successful attack, dealing an additional 20% damage per second. With the active skill, Sizer deals damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target, inflicting silence effect for 10 seconds, preventing the target from using skills. Reroll, support type, deals 300% critical damage to the target. Upon a successful attack, restores 3.1% of the maximum HP to all allies, deals 250% damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target, and removes all buffs from the target after a successful attack. Rachel, melee type, Rachel provides keen attack buff to allies for 2 seconds upon a successful attack, increasing allies' critical rate. Deals damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target, inflicting burn effect for 5 seconds, dealing 20% additional damage per second. Isabella, range type. Isabella inflicts a 1.5-second stun effect upon a successful attack on the target, dealing damage within a 2-meter radius around the target, and applies a 2-second sleep effect, rendering the target unable to attack, move, or use skills for a period of time but will awaken upon taking damage. Harmal, melee type, gains a defense buff upon a successful attack on the target, increasing final defense, and inflicts a stun debuff, rendering the target unable to attack, move, or use skills for a period of time. Eileen, melee type, grants allies a buff that increases final attack power upon a successful attack on the target. Deals damage in a semicircular area in front of Eileen, inflicting a paralysis effect that momentarily prevents the target from attacking, moving, and using skills. Dylan's, melee type, provides a brief buff to teammates that increases critical hit damage upon a successful attack on the target through an active skill, deals high damage in a frontal area, and silences the target for 10 seconds upon a successful attack, preventing them from using skills. Bathory, range type, deals critical hit damage equal to 300% of attack to the target. Consumes 10% of the caster's max HP to recover all allies' HP by 3.8% of HP. Passive skill, recovers HP equal to 20% of damage dealt. Eris, melee type, with debuff lasting 2 seconds, reducing the enemy's final attack by 25%. Additionally, deals 250% damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target, inflicting a 1.5-second stun debuff. Orly, support type, deals damage equal to 140% of attack in a 2m area around the target, or a skill, grants Gale LV 5 to melee type allies, increases attack speed by 20%. Black Rose, range type, deals critical hit damage equal to 350% of attack to the target, make the target bleed for 2 seconds, causing damage equivalent to 20% of attack per second. It also enters stealth mode for 8 seconds, during which Black Rose cannot be attacked but needs to remain close to allies. Finally, let's talk about SS tier. Terra, range type. After a successful attack, Terra gains the Veil effect for 10 seconds, which can negate 1 instance of damage. With her active skill, Terra deals damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target and grants the Fierce Spirit buff to range type allies for 5 seconds, increasing their final attack power. Rudy, defense class. After a successful attack, Rudy provides allies with the Sturdy Shield buff for 2 seconds, restoring 10% of Rudy's own HP per second for 5 seconds and granting control immunity during this period. Sebastian, range type. After a successful attack, Sebastian gains an attack increase buff for 2 seconds, increasing final attack power by 25%. His active skill, Magic Bullet Burst, deals 880% damage to the target. Seaton, applying a defense reduction effect lasting 1 second, reducing the enemy's final defense. It restores 25% of all allies' health and removes all debuffs from the targets. Ryan, melee type. After successfully attacking the target, Ryan gains an evasion increase buff for 2 seconds, increasing Ryan's final evasion. He deals 700% damage to the target and gains a critical hit rate increase buff, increasing his critical hit rate. Carl Heron, melee type. After successfully attacking the target, makes them tense. With the active skill, deals damage to targets within a 3-meter radius of the caster, applying a 1.5-second paralysis effect, rendering targets unable to attack, move, or use skills. Clemeth, support type, deals critical hit damage to enemies within a 2-meter radius of the target and applies a 5-second silence debuff, preventing them from using skills. Additionally, through the aura skill, reduces the skill cooldowns of melee type allies. Kyriel, range type, gains attack speed increase buff upon successful attack, lasting for 2 seconds, increasing attack speed and dealing high damage to the target, and receives a 10-second attack boost, increasing final attack power. Kagura, range type, deals 225% attack damage, inflicts a 2.5-second bind. Additionally, deals 250% attack damage in a 2m x 6m area in front of the caster, knocking the target back 5m. Increases final damage by 50% against melee type. Ace, melee type, deals 320% critical hit damage to the enemy, can reduce skill cooldown time by 3 seconds and grants the Blood Moon buff for 2 seconds. Ace activates the ultimate skill, dealing 900% damage to the target and gains a 10-second buff, increasing Ace's critical hit rate and attack speed by 24%. Well, the above 7 Nights Idle Adventure September Update Best Tier List, I've provided timestamps in the description. If you find the video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you next video.